This is the honeymoon phase. Everything is exciting, every weapon looks amazing, every item seems valuable, every building feels like it contains hidden treasures. It's your first raid and immediately you start looting everything. A bottle opener? Take it. A cotton balls? Take it. A sticky notes? Hell yeah. You have absolutely no idea what anything is worth. Your backpack looks like a garbage collection service and somehow you're proud of it. You hear your first gunshot. You stop moving, you freeze, you look around, you hear another gunshot, and immediately decide that maybe extracting isn't such a bad idea. The funny thing is that at this stage, you are actually fearless. Not because you're brave, because you're broke. You have nothing to lose, your loadout costs less than a sandwich, and if you die, who cares? You barely know what's happening anyway. You believe that every raid will make you rich. You believe that every gunfight is winnable. You believe that the game is fair. And you are adorable because reality is coming fast. This stage changes people. You finally get your first expensive kit. Maybe it's a high tier armor, maybe it's a fully customized weapon, maybe it's the most money you've ever owned. You enter the raid and immediately start playing like your character owes money to the mafia. Every sound is a threat, every bush contains enemies, every step is suspicious. You hear your own footsteps and you think someone is following you. This is where extraction shooters become psychological horror games. When you hear a gunfight in the distance, you don't chase the fight, you turn exactly 180 degrees and run the other way. You are no longer afraid of dying, you are afraid of losing your stuff, aka gear fear. And at this point, you don't own the gear owns you. Let me give you guys the starter pack of the stage 2 player. Hiding in a corner for 10 minutes, playing mostly as an undercover agent, looting whatever just to fill up the backpack, and a heart rate of 160 beats per minute while extracting. During this stage, your main goal is just to survive. You stick to the edge of the map, you memorize where the extraction zones are, and you run to them as soon as your backpack has 3 items in it. You will successfully extract with 50,000 coins worth of toilet paper and light bulbs, and you will feel like you just robbed a bank. By the way, no shame to the stage 2 guys, we all spend time as a rat hiding in the shadows, guys, and I believe it's a necessary part of learning the maps. Also, some players spend weeks collecting expensive equipment and never use it. Their inventory becomes a museum. They aren't playing the game, they're running a storage facility or something. And then, one day, you finally decide to use your best gear. You enter the raid, you play as safe as possible, and a level 17 guy with an AK removes you from existence. Welcome to the extraction shooters, guys. This is where players becomes dangerous. Not because they are skilled, because they are greedy. You have survived enough raids to understand value. You know what loot matters, you know what sells, you know where the hot spots are. And now, every raid becomes a business operation. You enter with a plan and you leave with none. Because greed always wins, guys. You will see an enemy and you go all in for its gear. Not because you're confident, because dead players have loot. Your brain stops calculating risk, it only calculates profit. And eventually, the game punishes you. This is also the stage where you hit the hardest learning curve, the ammo system. You will sneak up behind a geared player, shooting them 5 times in the back, and they will turn around and kill you in one go. You scream at your monitor, how did he not die? Well, my guy, it's because you were shooting tier 3 ammo into a tier 5 body armor. You basically playing airsoft versus a tank. But here's the good thing, this is where you have a choice. You can either let the anger win and uninstall the game, or you can take a deep breath and start learning why you died. If you choose to learn, you graduate to the next level. Stage 4 is where the game truly opens up, guys. The rage is gone, the gear fear is gone, you have reached a state of zen. You finally understand the golden rule of extraction shooters. Pixels come and pixels go. Losing a million coin loadout doesn't make you cry anymore. It just makes you analyze your mistakes. In this stage, you become a tactician. You are not just playing the game, you are studying it. You look up maps online, you memorize exactly where the enemy players' spawns are so you can predict their movements in the first 2 minutes of the raid. You have developed some great habits like you stop hoarding gear and you have a rule. If a gun sits in your stash for more than a week, you sell it. And also you build more balanced weapons. You realize that recoil control and ergonomics matter just as much as a fancy scope. You also start doing zero to hero runs on purpose. Instead of being forced to use a cheap gun because you're broke, you take a cheap weapon intentionally just to see if you can outplay a fully geared player. And speaking of that, check this deagle shot, guys. You also start understanding the economy. You know which item sells for a high price on the market, you know when to take a fight, and more importantly, you know when to walk away and extract. I think that Stage 4 players are the backbone of the community. They are the ones who show new players how the game is played with one or the other way. Welcome to Stage 5, guys. You are no longer trapped in the raid with the enemy is trapped in the raid with you. You don't play Farm or Valley anymore unless you are just bored, and the sound of gunshots is music to your ears. But confidence is a powerful thing. You stop worrying about equipment because you know that everything is temporary. You stop worrying about money because you will spend it either way. You stop worrying about consequences because that's part of the experience. You live in the armory and the TV station, the hardest map in the game. You run the most expensive ammo in the game because you know that hitting your shots is an investment and not an expense. At this stage, you don't care much about looting random items. The only loot you care about is the gear off the bodies of the players you just defeated. Your stash is full of millions of coins, but the money is just a high score to you now. You have become the exact same scary, unkillable monster that ruined your day back in Stage 1. Congratulations, the cycle is complete.